Hi, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and especially mine. I know that's already been said like 7 times today, but I think that you could say it 1,000 times and it still wouldn't be enough. I also want to say hi to my brother who's watching from Italy and my Sunday school class. My verse was 1 Peter 2:10. Once you were not a people, but now you are the people of God. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. For context, 1 Peter was intended to prepare the church to resolve internal threats, namely existing conflicts and false teachings. In this verse and throughout the book, Peter is trying to help this new church establish themselves and set the precedent of how they would be structured and what they would believe. This verse pretty clearly breaks down these goals into 2 parts. The first part, about being the people, is Peter explaining the structure of the church, and the mercy part, where Peter is explaining the beliefs. The first part, about being a people, calls back to the Old Testament book of Hosea. At that point, the Jewish people had made God pretty mad, and he basically said that they were exiled and had lost God's favor. But Hosea 2:23 says that I will say to those called, not my people, you are my people, and they will say, you are my God. Here, God promises that the relationship between the Father and his people would be restored. This was a promise to the Jewish people, one that they had known was theirs for millennia. But for Peter to use it talking to the whole of the new church, he was saying that all Christians, Jews and Gentiles alike, were a part of God's people. This opposition to the belief that had existed for thousands of years before, that it was Israel who had been chosen, isn't subtle. Peter draws this direct parallel, mirroring the wording familiar to his audience, to show this transition in the faith and in the church that God's promise was now for all. Peter demands that the artificial barriers to joining the church, that you had to belong to a certain group or be some certain way, had ended with Christ. This belonging community for everyone is what God wants for us. Not being a people means being lost and alone. But God's claim makes us found and wanted. But God's promise is more than mere temporary comfort in the title of being his. The second part of this verse is potentially the more significant piece. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. The word choice here is significant. There was no earning mercy or winning mercy or bargaining for mercy. No, it was received like a gift. And this gift isn't thoughtless, like a gift card from someone you barely know, or unneeded, like a cookbook from your in-laws. And it's not even flowers from your kids who mean well, but the flowers are just gonna die in a week, so why? No, this gift of mercy is perfect and necessary and eternal. But what is mercy? Mercy is like a pardon from God, where he withholds the punishment that we so deserve, eternal wrath. And his grace is giving us what we do not deserve. This verse encapsulates the whole of the gospel, that Jesus gave us forgiveness that we had no right to, and the keys to a kingdom that we had no claim over. Because he knows us, and he loves us, and he wants to be with us forever. God promises that to all who accept him, belonging and unconditional forgiveness if we accept it. It's a personal invitation to an eternal party. And just as Peter encouraged the church's transformation, God will transform our lives. The Message translates this verse as going from nothing to something, from rejected to accepted.